Yeah. Hey. I should have had a better lip color. Hi, hello. You know what? Of all times for this to happen, my internet went out. Oh no. Maybe it's just not connecting, that's all. Hi, hi. I'm back. Welcome back. I haven't been here for a while. Sorry. It's okay. It's okay. Sorry. I can't tell you why I did that. I might be going to Dominate Tour. The Stray Kids Tour. Hello? My internet's not working. Hello? That is, yeah. I have good news. Do tell, do tell. Do tell. I can't bring up the chat over here because my internet's out. Someone broke the internet in this house, and it wasn't me. You're laggy? It's because, no, it's because there's a pop-up that keeps coming up on my phone because I'm trying to connect to the internet. Excuse me, I know you know there's internet. I know you know. I love you. I might go to a Stray Kids concert on June 18th because it's my last day of school at 7:30 in New York. So it's really close to New Jersey. I'm going with my friends. Oh my gosh, I hope you get to go. Loose just came out. By who? Stray Kids. I'm trying to read the chat over here, but my internet. Tickets are up $100. That's crazy. It's crazier too though because tickets will keep going up. Like they'll keep getting more expensive as time passes. There's internet. I know there is. Taking dance class soon. Exciting. It's expensive. It really is. It really is. Hello from Tel Aviv. Hi. Where are you from? I honestly don't even want to say where I'm from anymore. It's kind of an embarrassment. Hi, hello. Hello, hi. I have a bad day. Oh my gosh. I'm sorry. I hope you have a better day tomorrow. Or if your day is going right now, I hope you have a better rest of your day. You should come to Israel. Maybe. She's American. Okay, when we tell the whole world like that, okay? It's just an embarrassment. It's an embarrassment to everything. Everything I stand for. My girlfriend broke up with me 2 hours ago. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Maybe it just wasn't meant to be anyways. Right? We just have to take that as a sign. I think, okay, I'm gonna restart my computer. How about that? Because apparently there's no internet. So they say. I think that's a lie though. I'll call you out in all the ways. Oh my gosh. That's mean. She's sleeping with my friend. Okay, yeah, and yeah, you didn't deserve her. Or she didn't deserve you. You didn't deserve that relation. Oh, that's bad. Wait, I said it really wrong. No. You didn't deserve to be in a situation like that, okay? You deserve better. And she didn't deserve you. Okay, there we go. Your favorite K-pop group? ONEUS. ONEUS. Okay. Now you're just doxing me in the comments. It's my birthday. Can I get a shout out? Happy birthday! Finally finished term 1 of school, 2-week holiday. Yay, you did it! sorry. Hi, hello. My parents kicked me out of the house. I have to live with my grandma. That all happened today. Are you sure? My internet's straight up lying. I know that's not true. No, I know that's not true. Going to a K-pop festival tomorrow? Oh my gosh. Wait, that's exciting. OMG, I finally got a chance to join your live stream. Really? I'm finally here, don't worry. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. Okay. Hello, nice to meet you. Hi. Nice to meet you. I'm trying to... I feel like of all times I went live, right? My internet was working just fine earlier. Now it's just decided to take the night off. I'm trying to read chat over here so that I can see everything going on, but apparently it doesn't want to work. I always had a lot of work to do. Oh, that's okay. You know what? That's okay. We all live our own lives. Okay, we're all busy people, so it's totally fine. I'm going to have a shower. Okay, bye. Thanks for stopping by. I hate this. My internet sucks. I just have to read it from my phone, which is fine, but sometimes if I miss a comment, I can't go back and like scroll for it. So if I miss your comment, I'm so sorry. I'm gonna go get coffee. Okay. All right, well, we're just gonna read it from my phone, I guess. Ah. Okay. You're so pretty as always. Thanks. Thank you so much. I don't even know what to say. How come you have a check mark? I was making what? But I left my sock in the freezer, so I told... What is going on? That sounds like a story. That sounds like quite the story. I totally forgot what I was going to talk about. I'll be honest, I think these days, so I've been streaming for a little over a year, right? And I feel like I've told a lot of stories in the meantime, like since then. And so sometimes I'm like, what are stories that I could retell and like it would be fine? And what are stories that like I've just told too many times and I don't want to tell them again? And so I tend to come on stream with like no plan of what I'm gonna do. Okay. Like I just kind of hope for the best. Hey girl, hi. Hi, 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 hi. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Oh, I was gonna read that. That's okay. My freaking hair. Oh my god. How are you? When did you go live? I'm good. I went live almost 10 minutes ago, so it's fine. You're here early. Let's hear it again. Okay, oh, do you want me to tell you? Okay, let me tell you a story. No, or should I? Maybe I'll wait. Maybe I'll wait till next week to tell it. Because next week is actually gonna be 1 year since I went through this experience, and so I feel like I should wait to tell that story for the 1 year anniversary. I could tell a different story back with my coffee. Yeah, about my horrible friends. Oh, okay. Can you say hi? Hello. Okay, no, I was gonna tell this in the last stream, but I got kind of scared. But like, I feel like I'm not scared anymore because one, this happened a year ago, and two, it's like, it's just I don't know. It's kind of just a story. Well, is it? Is it? Maybe you guys can give me some insight or something. um, love your natural sparkling eye makeup. It looks so good on you. Oh, really? Thank you so much. Honestly, I can't tell you why. I keep trying. Every time I do my makeup, I try to do it in like a really like natural looking way, except it always turns out like this. Which isn't a bad thing, but I feel like this looks so like done, right? And I kind of just want to look natural. But this is me looking natural. Is that sad? Did you watch or listen to Raven's song? I did. I did listen to it and I did watch the music video kind of. I liked the music video actually. But I'm gonna be honest. I think I've known since his first like little mini album came out on SoundCloud 2 years ago. God, that was so long ago. I knew from that moment though that I didn't like I was not going to be a fan of his style of music because I didn't really like vibe with a lot of the songs on his first release. Like when he released those 6 songs right after he left. Um I think there was really only like 1 or 2 that I really liked, but the rest of them it just wasn't my style. It wasn't that they were bad. Okay, I think they're good. It's just it's not my kind of music. And so I kind of felt like this song was going to be like that too, and unfortunately it is. It's not my it's not my taste, I feel. And so it's not something that I would listen to regularly. Matter of fact, I don't think I'm going to listen to it again. um but I mean like at least I listened to it, right? And I kind of took the chance and everything. Do you cover songs too? Sometimes. Just sometimes. Oh my god, I missed the see, okay, this is the bad thing about um I can't read the comments over here. I was on call with them earlier and then we were laughing and I said something and they said I need to shut up and stop being loud, and they've been saying I talk too much in class. The whole time they're laughing and talking and I'm dead silent doing my work. Okay. I'm gonna be brutally honest here. If this is the same group of friends, I quite literally think you need to just stop being friends with them. Or if you don't want to stop being friends with them, and I hate to tell you, okay, I'm gonna say this in the nicest way, but also it's kind of mean. um, if you don't want to stop being friends with them, I feel like you kind of need to not complain about it. Um, and I mean this, like I said, in the nicest way possible, because at the end of the day, it's like if you're letting yourself go through those experiences and you're letting them do that to you and letting them make you feel that way and you're not doing anything about it, then it's kind of just it's like a conscious decision that you're making. And I feel that um we can't complain about the things that we put ourselves through, right? Now we can complain about things that people do to us unprovoked and just like out of no, for no reason. But when we are making those decisions to like, we're putting ourselves in that situation and then things are happening, it's like we can't get mad about it because we put ourselves there and we're refusing to take ourselves out. Um, right? And I only say it like that because I've also had experiences like that of where I would deliberately put myself in crazy toxic situations and then I'd complain about the situation. It's like, well, if I genuinely hated it that much, I would just leave. But I didn't because I'm dumb, right? So that's kind of, that's just my stance on it, I feel. I kind of understand that. I like his new song, but I haven't heard it more. I like the MV though, it was interesting. And the rest without flame is back. That's true. Like I said, it's just I know that his style of music, and just knowing too that it's really similar to what he released 2 years ago, I think moving forward, I don't think I would listen to a lot of his songs. Like it's just not my vibe. And that's okay. Okay? There are a lot of artists that make songs that we're just not vibing with, and that's all right. You know? Like the only nice people are 2 girls who are very nice, meanwhile others are just bullying me. Like they know I have anxiety and it's hard to get rid of them. No matter how hard they try. If I ignore them, they spread rumors, but if I'm with them, they pull me into their trouble. I'm telling you, I'm gonna double down, I think. Um because I feel like I said, if this is the same group of friends, like at first I understood venting and stuff, but like if it's the same group of friends and they're still putting you through that and you still feel the same way, now we're just kind of going in circles, I feel. Hello, hi. Ah, not gonna lie, I might just block them. Okay, how would I say? Because I also know that it's hard to cut people off when they're your friends, okay? Um, a bit of a personal example, and this is kind of why I say that, like, well, a little different, I think. A personal example is I go all right, I used to be friends with this girl. We were friends for 10 years. All right, we were friends for a long since like we were friends for 10 plus years, okay? At the end of our friendship, she basically decided she didn't want to be my friend anymore, but she also didn't want to tell me she didn't want to be my friend anymore. So what she did is she turned around and started making my life miserable. She started treating me weird. She started like excluding me and like, you know, just basically like pushing me away, but in a really like deliberate way. And in my mind, now this is kind of what I mean by like sometimes you don't know that you're putting yourself in that situation. It's because she was my friend for 10 years. So I didn't think that she would be doing things like that to me. Because, like, we're friends. Like, I felt like she could come to me and tell me. Well, I felt like she would come to me and tell me because we were friends. And so I was letting her do that to me. I was letting her treat me badly. I was letting her, um, well, it wasn't even like treat me badly, but just kind of making me feel like I was doing everything wrong, you know, like I needed to be a better friend and not that she was the one who was a horrible friend. Um, but throughout like the end of our friendship, it's like I didn't know, like I couldn't really comprehend that she was doing it maliciously, you know? And so I kind of understand it's like when you really care for somebody and you appreciate somebody and you don't think that they would do things like that to you, it's hard to think um it's hard to think that they're like doing it in a bad way. So I might understand where you're coming from, but at the same time, I think like after not being in that situation, I did realize I was a lot of the time I was kind of making excuses for why she was treating me that way. And so in the end, it kind of was on me because if I had been smarter and I had been like, she's treating me, I don't like the way she's treating me. I, you know, don't want to put up with this anymore. We would have stopped being friends a long time ago. But I like your hair and your room. Thanks. Thank you so much. I feel like that about IM's music. He's my bias and my ex, but his style of music is not my taste. And I feel bad, but I can't change that. Honestly, I think I get it because okay, I try to imagine it in like my alt bias perspective. Now, luckily, strangely enough, Baekhyun, right? Baekhyun from EXO is my alt bias of all time. And when he started releasing music, I'll be honest, his first album was not necessarily my style. I think it was the title track. I think the B-sides were fine. I actually really liked the B-sides, but the title track was really not my vibe. And I felt really bad about it because I was like, he's my alt bias. I feel like I should like his music, but I don't like the title track. But I liked the B-sides. And then his second mini album came out, and I actually really liked that album. That album was really good. Um, I think I didn't listen to Bambi that much or whatever was on that album, but his recent album, I listened to the whole album and I'm like, this is so crazy because this is exactly my style of music now. I don't even know if it's the same as like it was in the first few albums or if it's so different now. But like, you know, at least I like his new music and stuff. But thinking about it in the perspective of like if Soho had a solo debut and like released like a mini album, had like 6 songs on it, and I didn't like any of them, I would feel really bad. I would feel really bad because I think in my mind, I feel like because he's my alt bias, I need to like a lot of what he does. And so I'd hate for him to have a solo debut and then me not like anything. Luckily, I do like Hatchling. I actually really like Hatchling. It's thanks, Soho. Hello, hi. Hi everyone. Hi everyone. Do you like Blackpink? Yes. Um I'm missing all of the not gonna lie, you're like my therapist at this point. Honestly, I think it's just because like I've gone through those experiences and these are things that I wish I would have known in that experience instead of like I mean, there are some things that you need the experience to like just know. for future reference, but also sometimes it's like you don't really know. Like it would be nice to have like outside perspective on things. It's just so you don't like waste your time. And so I think this is kind of one of those situations where, like, if I was in that situation, that's something I'd want someone to say to me. It's like you don't have to let yourself be put through all of that, you know, for no reason almost. I feel that, and I love hatchling too. I'm saying, I think I explained this in the last stream, but like the genre that they described hatchling as so happens to be one of my favorite genres in general. Like just overall in music. I think it's one of my like top 3 genres. And so I think that's goofy. I think that's goofy, and I did hear that all of the members worked on their own solo songs. And so I think it kind of like it get what's the word I'm trying to use? It gives a bit of like image. What am I trying to say? You know, like I don't know what I'm trying to say. Basically, it shows a little bit of what their musical tastes are because they all worked on their own solo songs. So, I think that's a good I feel like I have brain fog. I feel like I'm operating on 3 brain cells, which might be true. Lisa or like Jenny? Probably like Jenny. You know what? No. Sometimes I think I need to make like a poster or like a little sticker or something. And I gotta put it in my stream somewhere that says, I've been a K-pop fan for 10 years. Okay, don't be trying to promote all these like popular groups to me because I know them. I knew them before you knew them. And then some. Okay. I think it's just I understand it because like when I'm scrolling through live streams, it's like you see a stream of somebody and like the first thing is like, oh, I want to put them on K-pop or whatever, right? But it's like for me, I'm crashing out over some of these comments. I'm crashing out. It's more so it's just like it's always the same comments in the same groups. And like I get it because they're popular. But I feel like I just don't like when people try to come in and are like, do you know this group? And it's like the most popular K-pop group ever. And it's like, yes, I know that K-pop group. Okay. I was there when they debuted, matter of fact. So. Insight into their music taste. Yes, insight. That's what I was trying to say. And for some reason that word was not coming to my brain. I watched Arcane League of Legends on Netflix and I cried so hard. It was so sad. You know what? Everyone says to watch Arcane, but I think another like dilemma that I have. What dilemma? Something that like I experience a lot is I hate watching things or like even listening to songs and stuff when a lot of people are like either listening to it or recommending it to me. Now, if it's like 1 or 2 people, I think I'll be like, okay, yeah, then I'll like go listen. But when it's a lot of people and they're telling me to go watch something or listen to something or, you know, do something, immediately I become like not interested. And I'm like, okay, well, I don't think I'm going to be doing that, but thank you. And I hate to say Arcane was one of them, but Arcane was like not, it wasn't people telling me to watch it. It was that everyone was watching it. So I was like, well, I'll just wait. I'm just going to wait until like no one's watching it. I don't know. It's some weird thing in my brain. I just don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like watching something when everyone else is watching it. I think. I can't tell you what that means. I'm Neverland and Army. Nice. Hello. Hi. Hello. You know what? I really need to practice my Korean. Like really bad. Not really bad, but like kind of really bad. It's more so It's more so, I feel like I'm in the era of my Korean learning where I need to start like talking, but also to like practice listening, like, you know, listening in conversations and then responding in Korean. Problem is, I don't know anyone that speaks Korean. So, like, what do I do? What do I do? It's just a horrible dilemma to be in, I'll be honest. If you don't want to cry or get obsessed with characters, I don't recommend it because that's what happened to me. And I cried in season 2 came out in 2024, but season 1 came out in 2021. Yeah, I know Arcane came out a long time ago, and I think that was the problem I had back then was just so many people were watching it and I was like, well, I'll just wait. And then I forgot about it. And then the second season came out and I was like, oh yeah, I should watch the first season so I can watch the second season. But then everyone was watching the second season. I was like, okay, well, maybe I'll just wait. But I'm like forgetting about it. So like, bro, your army? No, not really. I'm a once. Nice. I'm Engine fan of it. Nice. Nice. My internet still hasn't come back. Is it because I was trying to connect to a whole different internet? Be honest. Be so for real right now. Be so for real. Do you like (G)I-DLE? I kind of just like their songs, I think. I think they're funny. I don't know, I just never really got into the group though. Right? I think no, okay. I think I was a bigger fan of (G)I-DLE when Soojin was in the group. But then Soojin left, and I really, really hate when members leave groups, okay? And I was so sad because Soojin was my bias. And I was like, man, like this sucks. And so I kind of like fell away from (G)I-DLE and just sort of stayed as like a casual fan. Casual listener. Mantra, like Jennie? Probably Mantra. The second season's sad and gross, not gonna lie. They get together and saves, dies anyways to give me permanent trauma. And oh my gosh, that's sad. I don't know what any of that means, but that's sad. Soojin, yeah. What is wrong with my internet? That's crazy. Of all times, it could just get up and die. It did it as soon as I went live. Which is crazy. I'm not even on the internet, so I don't know why I did that. If you're asking if I can speak Spanish, no. The reason I watched Arcane was because they did a song with Stray Kids and named it Complete, and like I love Stray Kids, so I had to see it in the series. Period. That's cute. I don't know why this internet is making me mad. It's making me mad. For some reason, my patience is so low today. It is so incredibly low. I feel like that's why I feel so not even argumentative, but kind of argumentative. Just a little bit. My patience, it's just so thin. My bias in (G)I-DLE is Yuki. Cute. That's cute. I don't know what, okay, what do I say? What do we talk about? No, okay, I really want to tell my secret. But it's not even a secret, it's just a story time because it happened a year ago. Okay, but also, I'm scared. I'm scared, duh. I'm a super casual fan of (G)I-DLE, but I liked their music a bit more before they released Tomboy. But I don't listen to their B-sides, so I don't know if I can really speak on this. Honestly, same. Same. I think I listened to their B-sides a lot more before Soojin left. And then after, like, I was just so much of a casual fan. I just only listened to their title tracks. So like I don't really know if their music is good past the title tracks because I never even listened. I really like G-Idle's my favorite girl group. Oh, nice. Tell us. Okay. It's gonna sound really crazy and delusional. Is it delusional though? I don't think so. Well, depends on what you mean by. I told this story before. It's just I ended up making the VOD private because I was apparently scared to have this story just be out in public like that. But like I said, it's been a year and like it's not as serious now as it was back then. Hi, hello. But it is still a little crazy, so like I still do need to know what the heck went on. All right? So if anyone ever has any insight, please let me know. My freaking hair. Hold on. I'm getting my first pet. Oh my gosh, what are you getting? What are you getting? Hold on. Oh my, wait, there's a hair. Okay, everything's going wrong. Everything's going really wrong right now. There's pieces of hair on my face. All right. Story time, everyone. A leopard gecko. Wait, that's so slay. Bye. Okay. Story time, team. Story time. So, if you were here in the stream that I told it, okay, you're gonna know. I've also told the story like 2 other times at the same time. So a year ago, a little over a year ago, I went to see ONEUS in New York. Sorry, thinking about telling the story is really crazy. I went to see ONEUS in New York, right? And basically why I went to go see ONEUS in New York was because one, they were not coming anywhere near me, like anywhere close. The closest they were going was Chicago. And I originally thought I was going to go to Chicago, but then I learned that the venue for Chicago was GA and that every other venue was not GA. And so I decided that I would much rather go anywhere else on any of their other to any of their other stops than Chicago. Okay, because I'm not doing GA. I'm so sorry. Especially for ONEUS. That's crazy. And so so I decided that I wanted to go to New York because I actually really like New York. I went to New York 2 times before last year. So I went there to see WEI like a year and a half before that. And then I went a long time ago in like 2015 for KCON. And so I wanted to go back to New York so that I could actually look around, like have time to do stuff. So that's why we picked New York City, right? So me and my pal go to New York City to see ONEUS. Now, I want you to keep that in mind, okay? Keep that in mind that I have only been to New York. This is my 3rd time in the city, okay? This is also my very first stop on the ONEUS tour last year, okay? This is the first time I was seeing them on that tour. So, we go to New York. Things are fine. Things are dandy, right? Concert goes great. Everything. It's really great and awesome. So at the end, right, I got VIP. So VIP for this tour, for the last tour was, it was just a high wave. It was sound check and a high wave. I hate high waves. They're gross and weird. I'll be so honest with you. But I also paid money. So like, I should just, you know, I really did think about skipping the high wave because I just didn't like the idea of it. But because like I said, I paid the money for it, I might as well just get my money's worth. So we go through the high wave. I knew I was already like just not in the mood to do the high wave. They're weird to me. They're super weird to me. So anyways, we get into like the chairs that they want us to be in, like the waiting part before we go through right by ONEUS, supposedly, to say bye. That's literally all it is. You just wave bye to ONEUS and then you walk out of the venue. So, they don't tell you what side the group stands on. And for some reason, I just kind of assumed they were going to be on my right side. I don't know. I can't tell you why I assumed that. I thought they were going to be on this side. So I started positioning everything I had on me to my left side so that it was over here, right, and out of the way, and so that I could say bye to one of us on this side. Um, However, right, we start going. They get us all up from the waiting part area. We start going through. We're gonna go through the high wave. Um, and I didn't know how close it was to like wherever we walked out of. So like we were in like the auditorium. We were sitting in the seats, but then we walked into the hallway and they happened to be right in there. Like I don't. It was so strange and weird. Um, and for New York, it was the because I went to two other stops after that. And New York was the only one where they were like way away from where the line was. Like they were way off in the corner. Us, the people in the line are way over here. And like I said, it's like we turn the corner to go down this hallway and they're already in the hallway. And so I didn't really have time to like once I saw they were on the left side instead of what I don't know why, like I said, I can't tell you why I assumed they were gonna be on the right side. I saw they were on the left side, but I was like, I do not have time to switch everything to my right side because they're right there, right? And so I was like, I think it'll be fine. So I kept everything on my left side, all right? And they're on the left side, but they're way over there. So I was like, it should be fine. It should be fine. Whatever, who cares? Now, one thing I fail to remember is I have a clear bag and I always put my phone in the front pocket because that, like, it's just a nice little pocket to put my phone in. So I just naturally, just very subconsciously stuck my phone with the camera facing out in the front pocket of my clear bag. All right. Now, like I said, everything's on my left side, on the same side that One Us is. And I just totally forgot they're on the left side. Hey, hi. Sorry. And forgot that my phone is sitting in my bag, very visible to everyone. So I'm walking through. I start saying bye to the members. I think I said bye to maybe 3 of them before I hear a staff. Okay. I hear one of the tour staffs and he starts yelling my name. Brother, when I tell you, he starts yelling my name just out in front of everyone, in front of the entire room. He starts shouting my name. He says, Taylor. And me, of course, I'm going to assume he's not talking to me. Because why would some random dude on this tour staff know my name, right? And why would he be talking to me? Maybe it's somebody else. So he says my name. I ignore him and I'm continuing my high wave, right? And then he says my name again. And so then I'm like, he can't possibly be talking to me. He can't possibly be talking to me. Like, there's no way he knows who I am. And so I ignore him again. So I keep continuing the high wave. Anyway, he says my name the 3rd time. This time, though, he says it louder, like with more urgency. And in my mind, I'm like, who's saying my name like that? And like, I think at this point, assumed it was somebody else named Taylor. I don't know. I can't tell you why I thought it was somebody else. And so, but then again, I was like, it's also my name and he's been saying it 3 times and like no one's responding. And so then I look, right? I look at where he's shouting my name from. I turn and I look at him and he's looking at me. He's already looking at me. And as soon as I turn to look at him, he points down and he looked, like at my bag and he says, your phone, right? And I immediately knew he thought I was recording. Because I know I can't blame him because my phone was facing out on my clear bag and it was kind of aimed, just, it looked like it could have been recording. So I didn't blame him for thinking my phone was recording, but I genuinely, like, I was so spooked, right? So like when I turn and I look, he's like already looking at me, points at my phone. I look at him and I'm like, it's not recording. But because I'm already kind of embarrassed, I like turn forward and I just walk straight out. So I didn't even say bye to the last 2 members because I was like, what just went on? Anyways, we walk outside, right? We're walking down the stairs. And the first thing that I do, because we have to go down some stairs to get outside of the venue. The first thing that I do as we're going down the stairs is I pick up my bag and I start looking for something in my bag that says my name. Because in my mind, I'm like, he should not, I don't know who that is. I don't know who that is, and I know he shouldn't know me, right? He should not know me at all. At all. And so I started looking for, I was like, maybe he saw my name somewhere in my bag and just was like, oh, her name must be Taylor. Let me call her Taylor. And so I started looking for my name anywhere in my bag. It's not anywhere on my bag. So I turned to my pal because she was in front of me the whole time. I like, as soon as we got outside, I said, okay. I was like, first things first. I was like, did you just hear what he said? And she at first was like, no. She's like, no, I didn't hear what he said. And I was like, and so now everything, I'm like, what just happened? So I had to explain to her the whole thing. I was like, he just said my name. And then she was like, she also asked me too, though. She was like, do you know who that is? And I was like, no, I've never seen that guy in my life. I've never seen him in my life. Right. And so I started freaking out outside of the venue because I'm like, why does he know who I am? Like, okay, well, no, it's not necessarily why does he know who I am, even though I do want to know why he knew my name. It was more so like, how did he know absolutely for sure that my name was Taylor, like it was me? And then why was he so confident about saying my name in front of everybody? Like I said, I'm in the middle of the high wave line. One of us is over there. Some of the staffs are over here. There's people behind me, and there's him and then like another staff on the other side of him. And he says my name in front of everyone. And I'm like, how do you know who I am? How do you know who I am? I was so spooked. I was so spooked. Why would you have a clear bag? Okay, so clear bags. I actually started getting clear bags after COVID because like, was it after COVID? I think so. It was sometime after COVID when we started going to concerts again. A lot of venues wanted you to have clear bags if you were gonna take a bag, but if you weren't gonna take a bag, like they didn't really care, you know. But if you wanted to take a purse of any kind, they wanted it to be clear. So I started getting clear bags because I was going to concerts more. And like that was kind of the rule at first. But then it like started shifting. And so now it's not a requirement to have clear bags. But in my experience, it makes security and everything way easier when you have a clear bag than if you don't. So I just start getting clear purses now because like I said, it's just easier for me in a lot of situations. Um, And so that's kind of why I had a clear bag, but like like I said, I seem to forget that as soon as I was going through this high wave. That's wild. Maybe your name was in a ticket. Okay, no. That was the other issue though, is because the high waves happen after the concert, right? And um kind of what they do to like get you to go through the high wave is so like you have your seat during the concert and then they tell you to go to a different section and just find a seat and sit down and wait until they take you through the high wave. So it's like now you're all kind of mixed in together. Doesn't matter where you were sitting through the concert. You're all mixed in together and then it kind of like it's based on like rows of how they take you through. And so I was in the middle of my whole group. Um it's kind of pretty much like a GA system to get through the high wave. And so like technically, yeah, like they shouldn't have been able to like line up my name to like any kind of order in the line or anything. It's a requirement to have small clear bags at concerts. Yeah, like some venues, I know like stadiums and stuff, or even to like outside of concerts. Um like stadiums for like games and sporting events want you to have clear bags if you take one. But a lot of the smaller venues, I think they have to be a certain like size requirement. They don't have to be clear anymore. Yeah, no, he thought I was recording. Which like I said, I think that makes sense. I understand why he thought I was because my phone was positioned so perfectly in my bag. And so I kind of get it. I do kind of get it, but at the same time, the only really weird thing about it was the fact that he just said my name so confidently. Like I said, he said my name 3 times before I finally looked because I was like, he can't possibly be talking to me, right? How would this random stranger know who I am? How? Right? And so that's why it's like it took him 3 times. He had to say my name 3 times before I finally turned. But then when I did finally turn and he was already looking right at me, I just want to know. I just want to know, how did he know? How did he know that was me? You know? Crazy. That's so complicated. I know. I'm just, it really just makes me wonder. I feel like it's one of those things I think I'll just never ever know about in my entire life unless I happen to see him at some other concert. But like, when would I ever see him at some other concert? He definitely, okay, so he was in I want to say he worked for Live Nation. He was definitely American, okay? He was absolutely 100% American. Um and so he wasn't like okay, how do I explain this? Cuz I thought he was maybe a venue staff. You know, like he was only working at that venue until I saw, well, I did some research too because New York was the 4th stop on the whole tour. So I looked at like people's clips from the other stops. And then also because they went to Washington D.C. right after that, I saw he was in all of those clips too. And so I was like, okay, so he's going, like he's on the tour with them. Like he's a tour staff. But he is also American, so I think he worked for Live Nation. But he worked as like an artist support. Yeah. I don't know how that makes sense, but he worked as artist support because during every single high wave, he was standing right next to One Us the entire time. Because in Phoenix, I went through, in Phoenix, and Phoenix and LA were so scary to me because like I experienced this in New York. And Phoenix and LA were the last 2 stops. And I was like, I have high wave there too. And knowing that he like, he's like an artist staff, like artist support staff or whatever, going through the high wave in Phoenix and he was standing right there, I was like, oh, nah. Because I was so convinced. I don't know why. I just kind of convinced myself. I was like, I think he doesn't like me. I don't know who this is. And that could have been totally not the truth, but that was just what it was going through my brain. I was like, I think he hates me. Because I go through the high wave in Phoenix, and I remember like we made eye contact again, and I was like, I was like, oh no, because I know he knows me. Obviously, he knows me, and so I was like, I don't know what you think of me, but I can assure you it's probably wrong. Like, I swear to God, I'm not what you think I am. I swear. I don't know. Don't know. He for sure heard your name while you were talking with the group. That's my only guess. No. Okay. This is, see, okay. That's why this situation is so weird to me because I was also, right after this happened, I was trying to get some insight. I'm like, how could he have possibly known my name, right? So I was talking to some other people that I knew about it, and some people were suggesting like things like that. Like maybe he saw you at a different concert somewhere, um, or somebody said maybe he just took a guess, and I was like, why would he guess my name though, of all names? Like he could have guessed any name in the entire world, and my name is not a name you're gonna guess for somebody's name, I think. And it was just so crazy because like I said, he said it so confidently. And when I did look, he was already looking at me, so it's like he knew that was my name. Um no, the issue about that though is that was the first time that I have like saw him the entire concert. Now I did learn later through like my clips and stuff. So like One Us comes off the stage during one of their songs, like one of their encore songs, and they walk through like the crowd and the audience and stuff. And I saw that he was following one of the members as like a security, you know, so that nobody's grabbing them and being weird. Um And so I saw he was like following one of them around, but like I said, that should have been the first time I seen him. And then like, you know, to me personally, the first time I saw him was in the high wave when he was saying my name. So I had so much fun listening to you yap. Gotta go to school. Bye. Bye. Thanks for hanging out. um yeah, it's just like all of every little piece in the story is just so strange to me. Like, realistically, he really should not know my name. He should not have known my name. Unless he knew me or learned of me prior to that. But how? You know, that's just my question. Like, how did he know? And how was he so sure that that was me? You know? Anyways, now this was something I think I gate kept for, like I said, a year. Because one, it is hard to explain. It sounds crazy and insane. When you say it out loud like that to anybody, it sounds strange. And so I didn't like talking about it, but also because it was just not low-key embarrassing, but it was low-key embarrassing. And so I tried to always keep it under like wraps. But like I said, it's been a year. Now I don't care. Now I don't care. Okay, I'm gonna tell the whole world about it. Especially because I think I've come to terms with the fact that I'm never gonna get answers from it. Unless. Just kidding. Hello, hi. Hello, hello. Maybe someone who's a regular on One Us tours knows you by your face and names. Maybe they told them about you. See, okay, that's the other thing though. Is like that. I feel like that's the most realistic explanation, is that somebody told him about me. Or if I really want to be crazy and insane, somebody suggested that he might have seen my videos before because he, like I said, he was an artist support staff. And so maybe he was doing research on One Us or something and came across my videos. I don't know. But like, you know, that doesn't, I feel like that shouldn't warrant him being so confident in knowing who I was. Maybe? I don't know. But it was either that or it was that somebody knew me and then told him. But then why would they tell him about me? And that's also kind of why I thought he hated me. Because I thought somebody was maybe like saying crazy things about me. Like, say it was somebody that is like regularly on the One Us tours and is like, this girl's a psycho, you need to watch out for her. And it's like, I don't do anything though. Like, what do you like? At the end of the day, I have anxiety, okay? So I was so convinced that somebody was like, she's crazy, you need to watch out for her. She, you know, you got to be careful with her. And then they had to like remember who I was in my name and stuff, so that when I popped up in front of him, he could be like, oh, I know who that is, I gotta be careful, kind of thing. Like I said, it's slightly also I don't know what I'm trying to say. I just I convinced myself he hated me on that whole tour. I was like, he has to like just not like me. But also too, I think it's because like during the high waves, I don't think I've seen him outside of the high waves. I think. But every time we made eye contact, he just had this really like strange look on his face. It wasn't like an upset or like annoyed look or anything, but it definitely wasn't like a, oh, nice to see you kind of look. It was always this like, what's the word I want to use? I wouldn't say confused, but it's kind of in that category. It was some kind of look he had on his face. And so I was so convinced. I was like, I think he hates me. I think he hates me. Which is totally probably not true. I mean, you know. But I do think that I probably will never see him ever again. Which I'm a little sad about, because I hate to say, if I ever did see him ever again, I would most definitely probably go up to him and ask him. I would ask him, like, how, if he knew me, first of all, does he know who I am? And second of all, why? Why does he know who I am, you know? You should have asked how he knew your name. Okay, no, because that's crazy, because I was going to. I was going to after New York. Because like I said, at New York, after New York, I thought he was a venue staff. Like, I didn't think he was a tour staff or like on the tour with them. I thought he just worked that specific show. Um, and so, okay. I'm gonna be really, really honest with you, okay? I'm really honest with you. Hear me out. Hear me out. Because I was so just like, what's the word? This like shook me up really bad, okay? So after the high wave, me and my pal hung around the venue a little bit after the New York concert because I again was convinced he was a venue staff and I wanted to wait until he came out of the venue so that I could be like, "Hey, bro, my brother in Christ, you said my name and I need to know why." Right? Like it was literally like I wanted to just ask him how he knew me. But then okay, we were hanging around the venue. All of the venue staff, like the venue staff, and then like the volunteers that they had hired that day, all came out together and he was not there. And so I was like, so who is he? Like, why? Where? And then also, though, but it was late and it was cold and I was tired and so much had happened. Like, I wanted to just like go back and watch all my concert videos and stuff. And I was like, you know what? I think we're gonna just have to take this L and just never know why he said my name. So we went back to our hotel after all of the like the show staff, like the people they hire as volunteers and stuff, they all came out. He wasn't there. So we just went to the hotel. Now, I did kind of keep in the back of my mind. I was like, if I see him outside, like, you know, outside the venue or whatever in Phoenix or LA, I'm going to intercept him and I'm going to tell him. I'm going to ask him what the heck was up, you know? But I never seen him. Why? Because he apparently was an artist staff. So he was with One Us like 24/7. I'm like, okay. Like good for you, I guess, but like I have a burning question. Like I need some answers right now. So, I don't know. How crazy, that's weird. I know. I think the theory that I settled on, just because, like I said, I'm so sure for as long as I live, I will never ever know why he said my name. Honestly, this whole situation probably could have been avoided. Like, even if he did know my name, he did not have to say it out loud like that, right? Like, if he knew who I was, regardless of how he knew who I was, um, none of this would have been a problem, I think, if he had just addressed me like he would have addressed another fan that he didn't know, you know? And so, like, if he just started trying to get my attention and, like, started using, like, descriptors or something, like, you with the blue shirt, I would have been like, that's me, I think, because I have a blue shirt on. Then I would have been like, oh, period. But it was the fact that he just said my name. He just said my name, right? Like, I would, I don't know. I don't know. Anyways, I've settled on the theory that he probably was just doing research on One Us on YouTube or something and came across my video and maybe decided he knew that he could recognize me in public and then decided to. I don't know. It's what gets me through my days because I would not know. I'm not going to know otherwise, basically. uh Anyways, yeah, that was my story time. Did you guys enjoy that? Did you enjoy that little story time? I don't think I have. No, I do. I have one more secret I want to share, but I'm going to save it for next week. Except if you're a longtime fan, you'll know what I'm going to share. So you're not missing out. It's also because next week I think it's going to be the 1 year mark of when this story happened. So I think that would be a perfect time to address this story. Because I'm tired of gatekeeping these stories, okay? I want to just talk about it with people. Hold on, my hair. My hair. That's what, like, I've talked about these stories before, but, like, I think I always get too scared about talking about them in public. Why? I don't know. I really don't know. Honestly, I don't like telling these stories, like, on Twitter and stuff, because some people get really weird about stories like that. Like, imagine I told this story on Twitter, everyone would call me delusional. All right, and they would probably say a lot of crazy things about it. I'll be like, I don't know why that happened either. Like, that's why I'm here, you know? Anyways. Anyways. Ah, sorry. 16 people here, but I'm the only one saying anything? Really? To me, it says 7. But even then, that's strange. Who art thou? If you're here right now, say hi in chat. Give a thumbs up in chat. Wait, should I do a poll? I haven't done a poll in a while. Let me do one. What should we do? What should we do? Ask your community. What do I ask? To get people engaged. How about I just do, I'll do a question mark and then we'll just do some answers. But what do I make the poll? Show yourself. Yeah, I know. What the heck? Drop a hi in chat or something. Say hello. Say hello to chat. All right, here. I'm going to do the seasons. Spring. Hello. Summer. Oh, no, that's the wrong one. Fall. Or winter. Is that what I want to say? Whatever. Who cares? Who cares? We'll get people engaged, okay? Interacting with stream. Honestly, what's your favorite season? No, we talked about this before. I think we talked about this before. Because mine is winter. I actually really like the winter time. I vote fall, not too hot, cold, just right. Period. Fall, I think. No, because I described this before. I really like the winter time, just for a lot of there's a couple of reasons why I don't like the winter time, but I think overall I really like the winter. I don't think I like the summer that much. The only thing I like about the summer is the longer daytime, more daylight hours, and the fact that you can do more outside activities. But I hate the heat. I hate it so bad. Because I'm the type of person who, I'd much rather be cold and then just bundle up with 12 layers than to be hot, because there's not much you can do when you're hot. You kind of just have to wait until you're not. But when you're cold, you can warm up. I like that a lot more. Plus my birthday's in the winter. I feel like that's just kind of why I like the winter time. I think I would like spring and fall a lot more. It's just, I feel like those times where the weather is so perfect and amazing only happens for 2 weeks max. And maybe that's just where I live. Where I live, we have very distinct winters and summers, and this weird mixture in between. So spring and fall we don't really have. It's kind of just, we go from winter with maybe 2 weeks of spring, and then suddenly we're in summer. More time and tours, but the heat is bad. Over 100 degrees where I live, it's horrible. Yeah, see, heat to me, Heat to me is a big no. That's a big no. Wait, I want to... Oh, I can't vote in my own. Who said summer? Somebody voted summer and you're not going to tell me why. You're not going to tell me why it's the summertime. No, but summer overall, I think it just has really, really good vibes. I love the vibes of summertime. Because like I said, you can do more outside activities. That's the one thing I don't like about winter is that like you have to kind of just stay cooped up in your house because it's just too cold outside to do anything. Or it's like you can't really go anywhere because it's snowing. So it's like one of the one things I don't like about the winter time, but the problem is when winter happens, it gets really cold, like the low 20s. That's fair. That's fair. Winter here, low 20s is relatively warm. Actually, I think in the wintertime when it's 30, like the 20s, I think are like a really good sweet spot for temperature here. Now, when it gets below 20, then it gets a little frigid. Okay, it's a little bit cold. But if it's above 30, it's like a little too warm. Like, you know, like 20 is like a perfect winter temperature around here. No, that's a lie. I wish it was. But see, that's kind of how I feel too. Like 20 is just so perfect. I honestly think even in the teens is a little nice. Like it is a little bit frigid. It's a little bit cold, but like it's not horrendous to live in. But when it starts getting to be like, when it's like 5 degrees, that's a little cold. And then it drops below 0 sometimes. It's like, okay. That's a little much, I think. You live somewhere really cold then. Yeah, it gets really cold here. Like I said, where I live, we have super distinct winters and summers. So winters are just cold. They're cold, snowy. An average temperature is probably 20, 25 on a normal day. The winters though, the summers though, I think we always get up in like maybe the 90s. Where like 85, 90 is like an average summer day. I think. Maybe it's mid 80s now that I think about it. Sometimes we get over 100, but oh god, sorry. The low 20s, I'm dying and turning into a popsicle. Yeah, it's still cold, but I think it's manageable for us around here. No, the summers are probably mid 80s, but it's also dry heat. But dry heat's way better, I think. Humidity is no. It's a big no, okay? That's literally just warm for me. Over 100s is hot. Yes, when it's over 100 degrees around here, though, they, like, everybody, like, is not outside. It's too hot. It's too hot. No one's a winter fan. I wish I could vote in my own poll, but, like, my internet still isn't working. It's still not working. I have humidity. Humidity's gross. It's so disgusting and it's so gross. Hate to tell you. Okay, no one's gonna explain why your favorite season is your favorite season. You're just gonna vote. We're trying to have discussions. I'm trying to figure out why. I want to know why this is your favorite season. Tell me a good story. Tell me a good story about why that's your favorite season. It's literally so hot today. I was dying. Today. This is why I'm saying I'm not that excited for the summertime. I do like the summertime in general, but I'm not that excited for it. I kind of just want to enjoy the really nice, amazing weather for a little bit. Give a flying kiss. Did you vote in my poll or what? Who's voting in my poll and not saying anything? I just want to know. I want to know. Tell me quick. Quick, tell me. Yeah, I don't know what happened to my internet. It kind of just gave up. Ah. I'd rather live in the ocean so I can be in the what? Cool in the summer? Live in the ocean. The ocean's cool, I guess. I think I haven't seen the ocean or experienced the ocean enough to know if I like the ocean. I think it's pretty, but I feel like I live nowhere near an ocean. Matter of fact, I don't really even live near large bodies of water. So, I cannot tell you if I would like the ocean or not. I'll find a way to become a mermaid and live in the ocean, period. That's period. I love the ocean. The ocean sounds really cool in like theory. But like I said, it's just I haven't I haven't experienced the ocean enough times to know if I'm a fan. Like I just think it's kind of pretty, but I feel like I need to just like go a few times. I've never swam in the ocean. I need to do that. I'm starting to yawn. I definitely want to swim in the ocean at least once. I want to be on a boat in the ocean. In the ocean. I want to be on a boat. In an ocean though. Okay. Me either. This is our time. We can go swim in the ocean now. Hey bestie, hi. Hello. I'm getting tired. Oh no, I'm getting tired. Okay, how about this? We'll do 15 more minutes of stream. And then we'll end for the night. I mean, I don't even know how to swim, and I should. You know what? That's okay. That's totally fine. I think, honestly, I don't think I know how to swim either. Like, I can swim, I've never done it. Like, does that make sense? I don't think that makes sense. I know how to swim, but I don't at the same time. I don't know. Ah! Oh, God. Oh, Jesus. Okay. Okay. Hello. Hi. Who's voting in my poll and not saying anything? Oh my god, there's a winter fan. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I'm trying not to yawn. I'm trying not to yawn. No, okay. Here's another question to pose to chat. Do you prefer the mountains or do you prefer the ocean? Okay, let me know. Let me know right now. Comment down below. Just kidding. Comment down below to let me know. I'm just kidding. I'm quite literally kidding. Random question, but because I mentioned mermaids, have you ever watched the show H2O Just Add Water? I've heard of it. I've never seen it though. So. I'm getting tired. Jesus. You know my answer. She's an ocean girly. She's an ocean girly. No, the ocean is nice, I think. The ocean is nice. I grew up on that show. It's good and funny in my opinion. Yeah, see, I've only ever heard of it. Like, I've never seen it in my life and then never seen anyone talk about it either. but I have heard of it. Sorry, I'm tired. I'm tired all of a sudden. Guess what? My sister's BF gave her a what ring? And she's yelling? What kind of ring is that? I don't know what that is. I'm trying to think. Oh my god. Okay, wait. I have another question. I have another question. Would you ever get a promise ring? Okay. Does anyone know what those are? Honestly, I hate to tell you. Do I hate to tell you? No, I don't. Sorry. Bye. I'm getting tired. This is crazy. But I did not know what a promise ring was for the longest time. I don't even remember how I learned. Oh, no. No. Okay, let me tell you how I figured out what a promise ring was. It was because I'm gonna do a bit of a lore drop. It's not a lore drop, I've talked about it, but lore drop. Please explain to me what that is really quick. I wasn't the only one. No, okay, like I said, I did not know what a promise ring was. I only figured out what it was because in my situationship years ago, okay, I think we were probably in our early 20s or something, maybe even late teens. In my situationship, the guy I was talking to kept mentioning wanting to get me a promise ring, or he mentioned how he wanted us to have promise rings. Now, I thought that this was just a cute little like I didn't know there was that much meaning behind it, okay? I thought it was just a cute little way of like, we should get like matching, I don't even want to say matching jewelry, but kind of like, you know, like couple items. Like you wanted to have a ring to show that we were like in a, I hate to say in a relationship because like I said, it was a situationship. So like we really weren't ever in a relationship. But this is what he wanted to do. He wanted to get promise rings. And I was like, sounds like a great idea, I think. And he was like, okay. And like, but he was trying to hype me up, all right? He had no intention of ever getting promise rings, but like he was trying to act like he wanted to. So I was like, I don't even know what a promise ring is. Like, what makes it so special? Like, why is it called a promise ring? And why is he so adamant about getting one? I look up promise rings on the internet, okay? And I find out that a promise ring is literally like you're in a relationship, but it's you committing to like it's just like another way of committing to like the person that you're dating. So instead of like committing but like doing it through engagement or being proposed to or proposing to the person, you get promise rings so that it shows that like you're committed to them and that like, you know, like you will get engaged to them and you will get married to them and all this stuff. Supposedly. Like I'm so sure it's not like set in stone and binding or anything, but that's the whole meaning behind a promise ring. And once I learned that, I was like, first of all, not only were you just like so easily just throwing the idea out there and not, you know, not only that, but had no intention of I guess I can't speak for him, but just based on his actions, he had no intention of committing to a relationship with me, right? But at the same time, it also made me think about it. I think it made me think a lot about like just the relationship I had with him anyways, and thinking about like having to commit to him for the rest of my life. Like it really made like put things into perspective for me. I was like, I think it was one of the first times where I really started thinking about like, why am I doing this? Like, you know, like I said, it was a situationship. So, and I was kind of just blindly just participating in it pretty much. But that moment, he was like, we should get promise rings. And I was like, yeah, but I don't really want, it made me realize I did not want to marry him at the end of the day. I did not want to be with him like that. And so I kind of was like, I don't know if I I was like, maybe we should, like, you know, wait or hold off on that or whatever. Luckily, we never got them, so it's like a commitment type ring. You have to send your ID to get it. You can only buy them for one person. Is that true? I want one, but don't even have a boyfriend to start with. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's a cute idea in general, but it's supposed to symbolize commitment. And so I feel like that should also be like a huge step in any relationship if you're trying to get promise rings. It's like, you know, like we should discuss it first, I feel, instead of just jumping right in. That guy does he even know what it was? I think he did. Like I said, he was, how would I explain this? I don't really, how am I trying to explain this? He might have known what they were. I don't think he was serious about it at the time. Especially because, like, we were young when he first mentioned this, so it's like, obviously I'm not trying to, like, commit to a relationship this early in my life. All right, I'm like 20. That's insane. But like, we had a lot of issues within our relationship, so I couldn't really trust a lot of the things he said. When it kind of came down to it. And I think that's also why, one, it never left a situationship, like it never turned into a relationship or anything. And two, like, why it didn't work out in the end anyways. Was just because, like, I just didn't trust him. I didn't trust him at all, in any sense of the word. And that's like a big thing, especially for me in like a relationship. It's like, I feel like I need to trust whoever I'm with, and the fact that I just couldn't trust anything he ever said to me, that was all I needed to know at the end of the day. I don't know why situationships are a thing, like either date the one or don't. There shouldn't be no in between. That's what I'm saying. Now, part of our situationship was my fault because, like, I knew. How do I want to put this? Okay, I'm grown. Okay, I've grown past my mistakes. Back then, I was also a bit toxic. Okay, and being in like this semi relationship with him, like not official, but like kind of, it was still like we were entertaining each other in a way. I really liked the validation that came from it, you know? Like, like I said, I'm grown, I'm better now. But back then, because I was young and I was dumb, whatever, I enjoyed the validation. I enjoyed it. I think it like fed my ego a little bit, and like it just kind of, it made me feel like a little bit of a TMI, but it made me feel like I was important to somebody. And I think those were much more important to me than like just wanting to be with him. Like, I didn't really even want to be with him, but like I liked all of that I was getting from the situationship, and so I just kind of let myself go through that entire thing for way too long. But I think he also was kind of doing the same thing, and so that's kind of why it was like neither of us wanted to commit to the relationship. Okay, part of that was on me, I will say. Part of that was me. But we were also just immature about the whole thing, and so we finally, well, I hate to say I finally, because he's still trying to talk to me to this day, and I'm like, brother, we're old and grown, like, we should be past this. All right, we should well, I'm more like him, like, you should move on. All right, you can, You can find something out there that'll fit what you want, but like it's not gonna be for me, pretty much. I'm back. I went to go get a what? And a snack? Oh, period. At least you grew from that? Yes. Yes. I'm glad I did. I feel like this is also, I remember saying back when we were talking about all our Valentine's Day things, I was saying that I think it's really important to be single. Especially when you're young. Oh my God, especially when you're young. I hate to say, even just in your 30s or 30s. What was I thinking about? In your 20s. I think most people should be single in their 20s because trying to get into like especially like a committed serious relationship when you're in your early 20s, that just sounds like a disaster. Like it sounds like it would just turn out horrendously because you're still young. Your brain is still like you're transitioning from your child teenage mindset into an adult mindset, and if you're in a serious relationship in that transition, it's like you're going to learn a lot of things along the way that maybe one you don't like about your partner, or maybe you want from a relationship that you're not getting in your relationship. Or maybe your relationship was built on all of this immaturity and stuff, and then you're mature now, and now this relationship is like falling apart in shambles pretty much. It's like, I think it's important to be single. I almost said alone. It's important to be single in the years where you're like learning how to be basically your own person. Does that make sense? Bessie, I got a new Easter Squishmallow. Period. You're adding to the collection. But that's my opinion on this. In today's generation, there shouldn't be situationships. Like, I hate that. It should be you either date the person or don't. I firmly believe in this. No, I believe in that too. I actually believe in that. Very much so. Like, sorry, I don't know if I was. I think at this point in my life, that's definitely something like I'm just so like I'm firm on too, because situationships are pretty much just a waste of time. Kind of like you said, if they're not willing to commit to like a relationship, right? And they just want to string you along, then it's really not worth your time, because you can find somebody who is willing to commit to a relationship and be serious about it, and just be mature about it, rather than like oh, I'm not ready for a relationship but I really like you. It's like, then then we'd have no business talking to each other, I think. My friends BF broke up with her because she talked to her friend, and it's a boy. She was crying. It's giving insecure. It's giving insecure. And really, that's not anyone's fault except the boyfriend, because like, that's crazy. That's also another thing I would absolutely hate in a relationship, is if I was dating a guy and he was so insecure that like I could not talk to other guys at all, like just in general. All right, I'm talking about the insecure ones that are like, they see you talking to any man at all and they're getting mad, and it's like, hello, why? Like, he was taking my order. Like, what did you want me to do? Ask for the woman cashier? Like, you're crazy. You're crazy. Like, if a guy ever did that to me, I would throw hands, figuratively. No, I would probably literally. I would throw hands. I yelled at him because he talked to other girls and he got mad at her. Like, I almost slapped him. Period. As you should. Yeah, that's not fair either. How can he talk to other girls but she can't talk to other guys? But like, in general, like, just conversation, Okay, team. How about this? We do 5 more minutes of stream. Just 5. My internet. Oh. I thought my internet came back and it didn't. Like, how are you gonna say she can't talk to guys? You're talking to 50. Exactly. And it's not, it doesn't even have to be in like a flirting way either. It's the ones that like, get mad when you just talk to when you're just in the vicinity of a guy. It's like, you're crazy. We have tea though. Who has tea? What? No, I would love to stream longer. I also, though, I do have to work tomorrow. Unfortunately. Luckily, it's only 3 hours. 4? I think it's 4 hours tomorrow. We're talking about tea. Oh, period. Yeah, true. No, we can continue our tea session next time. How about next time we just do tea. Piping hot tea. And that's it. That'll be the whole stream. So that anyone and everyone can come in and share their stories. And we'll discuss as a unit. I think I think that would be fun. Do I have tea? I don't think so. Honestly, I don't be living life like that to be having tea. Is that a good thing? Is that a bad thing? It's a good thing because it means I live a drama-free life. Okay? Nothing really happens to me like that. But it's also a bad thing because that just means I'm not living life. You know? Like, nothing crazy is happening to me to be drama-worthy. Sure, though, I don't know if I'll have any. Honestly, it can be any kind of tea. We could even do K-pop tea. K-pop tea. Wouldn't that be cute? K-pop opinions. Unpopular K-pop opinions. I have a few. Do I know what they are at this moment? No. But I know I have a few. I do. He was flirting. I swear he was cheating. Oh, that's just messed up then. That's just messed up and she should break up with him. She should break up with him. I don't know what he's talking about. OMG, yes. I'm saying. I think it would be, but also it's like, are people gonna like burn me at the stake for my unpopular K-pop opinions? Like, some of them might be so crazy and insane. They might burn me at the stake. Anyways, guess we'll have to see if that happens, right? Anyways, I think I'm gonna end the stream here for tonight, just because I am getting a little tired. Okay, I hate saying at the end of my streams when my next stream is going to be because I tend to like not stream when I say I'm going to. I might try to do a stream tomorrow or Saturday. I'll try to do 2 this weekend. How about that? Instead of just 1. I'll try to do 2 this weekend for sure. So maybe tomorrow or Saturday. Just say you'll see us next time. But then if I say that, I feel like it's like a personal mindset thing. Like if I'm like, I'll just see you guys next time, then I'm gonna feel like I'm like, oh, I can just not stream for like a week and a half. That's messed up. I'm trying to keep myself disciplined and on track. So I'll try to stream 2 times this weekend, but if not, at least once for sure. Don't know when though. Okay, well, I'll at least give you that. I don't know when. But hopefully I see you all in the next stream as well. I hope you guys have a good rest of your night, or you're having a good day, or you had a good day, or whatever. And I will see you all next time. Bye everyone. Thanks for hanging out today. I'll see you